Hi, good morning or afternoon. This is Cheryl with Sea Spirit Tarot, and I am here to do a response, maybe not a response, my response to a transmission I just listened to from Ashtar Command. For over 20 years, I've always put a landing pad on my house for Ashtar Command, and have been very well aware of the Ascended Masters. Ashtar Command is head of the Galactic Council, some of our overseers of benevolence here on Earth. Not to call them aliens, because we have all those aspects within us. So actually, I listened to this. I was so wired. I had to go meditate. I meditated for 15 minutes. It chilled me out some. But I would like to do a reading. In some ways, it'll be another moon reading. But it's also going to be in regard to the opening portals that are coming with this new moon. Or some astrologers have called a cradle. A cradle in the lines of the chart where you hold and you nurture. And nurture to grow. So, well, the first thing I did while I was listening to this is I'm doing cards, right? And what came out was child orphan. Now, Ashtar Command is that silver and blue that you see. There was recently a silver and blue Northern Lights over, I think it was in Norway, when usually they're pink and green. But silver and blue. And I'm going to read this card because I am from the first line of Wayshowers in. The ones that came in pretty much right after World War II. When the earth was going bad and they needed to bring in people of different vibrations. So the first group has had a really hard time because we have been so alone, black sheep, and this child orphan is just perfect. But now we've kind of moved on more to being and radiating, but we're still here to teach because all of us have been into this stuff at some point, even if we've shut it away or not given it time when we were locked in our worldly task. We're still here, and this is why we're here. I am one. So this child orphan that came up in my shuffling, light attributes, independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. Yeah, that suits me well. The shadow attributes, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. I think I've done both sides of this. Child orphan. We felt like child orphans coming in. Not so much anymore, because there was 2 more waves. And then the indigo children, the grid makers came in. I think there was 10,000 of them. And now the rainbow warriors are here. They're showing up. And we have reached critical mass. But, no buts, and we all need to be more aware of what is going on and cradle and nurture ourselves. So this is not a new moon reading, but because the Pisces moon, which is dissolving and into the unknown, or if you... I've heard some channelers say if a message is important, your nose itches. Going into the unknown, dissolving who we think we are, picking up all those parts floating out there, aspects of ourselves, and uniting to be, whatever you want to call it, the star beings we are, the universal beings that we are. So I'm going to start it with a Crowley card, and this is the moon, and this is the sun at midnight, And you see here the veil. You see here the waves, the frequencies, the waves. How to receive messages. How to order your life to stay in the highest frequency of sound and color. And again, his colors would come as blue and silver. I do not have an Ascendant Master Oracle deck. I can see that I need one. And I know I have pictures of him somewhere, but I can't print any off because I need to put new ink in my printer, so that's all askew. I am grounding that card with another moon card. And here we have the woman reaching up out of the grave to the moon. Now the High Priestess is associated with the moon also. And Pisces is associated with the moon. I posted on my Facebook, Neptune, the wind around Neptune moves faster than the speed of light. How curious is that? So that's how I'm going to start my reading. And I'll make it a quick reading, but I just had to do it. I was just called, and I was so called, like I said, I had to sit down and meditate to be able to even begin to articulate here, which is one of my practices here on YouTube, is my articulation, because I have been so isolated. I've fit in some groups. I've tried many groups, but I've really never fit in anywhere but in this magical astral realm. So this is going to be kind of interesting. These are the cards I had sitting by me, so as I'm listening to the transmission, I'm shuffling. I had 3 cards come out at once. And I'm going to past, present, future, however you want to do it. And the first card that came out was this Sun and Mercury. To really see who we are. Ruin is what Crowley calls it. It is all the swords and piercing the heart of how we became so dense and so lost in being who others chose us to be. The second card that came out was the Queen of Cups, who is definitely blue and silver, and is a reflecting light. Ashtar also is so bright. If you see what they call Jacob ladders or stuff, but when you see the sun coming through the clouds, the bright starships, silver. They could be any form they want. But like I said, I have always, for at least 20 years, made an Ashtar landing pad on top of the residence of which I've lived in. It's been that important to me. So today's channeling by Amanda Ellis, and I'll link that, it just resonated. So, the reflection of who you are, the reflection through the moon into Neptune. Neptune would be receptive, feminine, as would the Queen of Cups. That was the second card to come up. And remember in Crowley, this is the card that if you put the High Priestess on the top, it's a direct reflection of the chalice of who you really are. But you can't really see the Queen of Cups because her reflection is so strong. She reflects back to you who you are. And she is really just seen as a light, as a bright light. And the third card is the Ace of Swords, which is piercing the veil, which is showing a portal. I know it has gold, but it has silver and blue, into the clouds of the new messages coming to listen to and the new ways of being. Now, clarifiers. I'm shuffling this whole time watching this thing, right? Listening. Ruin. Red and yellow. Very earth-based, very root-based. And solar plexus. And one thing she said, you know, if you want this information like E.T.'s finger, call home. Push on your breastplate. Push on your breastplate. It will open you and open your heart to receive more messages. So with this word, I thought I would ask some of the more grounded areas, because I'm going to go through that again. Right now, we need to ground so we can hear and feel. Feel. And I got the Three of Wands. So this is the first, well, it's the third step towards a new life and a new beginning. It is red of the heart. It is green of the heart. It is blue of the throat chakra. A new beginning, overriding this ruination of where we have been blocked to receive messages from the divine. The second card, which was the Queen of Cups, came up, the Eight of Pentacles. It is time now. Our work has earnestly begun. Does that show? Our work has earnestly begun. I don't mean the work in the cubicle. I don't mean the work that society is telling you that you must do. I mean the work that we are meant to do. We are meant to do here on earth. And see, we've got some red in the heart realm here, and we have green again. And these would be beings, grounded beings of the earth, giving us confirmation that it is now time to begin. It's been time to begin. But after this portal, I really so strongly believe that after this new moon tomorrow, you're going to feel a whole lifting, lightning. So our work is now to begin to open our heart and realize what divine beings we are. An eight is advancement. A 3 is the solid, putting it together like a triangle so it can manifest materially. And the last card, which is the Ace of Swords. See, I'm still just jumping. Piercing through the veil. See the colors up there? It's the moon. The feminine, that's be copper. The male shaft. The integration of the male and the female, where before the divine feminine has been the scapegoat, the mat to step upon in a male-dominated hierarchy. Those times are ending. And it's time to come into our true, receptive, divine presence. And the clarifying card I got on that was the Eight of Cups. It is time, attainment again, to walk away. I mean, we have to still live in 3D. And we'll be able to live in 3D. But as our frequencies continue to increase, we will have a different awareness of 3D and a different radiating of our beingness in 3D that will help others. So this is the Eight of Cups. It's time to begin in earnest, to work from our heart and know which messages we receive that are true. And grounding. Again, I'm going to go through it. Tourmaline. Black tourmaline. Red jasper, red agate. I don't know if this is one or not. I'm wearing my garnet. Tiger eye. Bloodstone. I'm also holding on to this lapis. One of my favorite books by Melody, I've got 3 big volumes like that of stones with her, is that this was lapis wisdom before time. I believe this would be an avatar stone. I'd have to double check that. So that's a quick reading. I'm sure there's others that feel this way. We are here for this portal, through this portal, to grow in our divine realness, to accept, integrate, love, forgive, all our aspects, come from the heart, the uniting of all beings, even our, if you want to call them galactic parts that we have, because we have lived on many planets before we came to this one to assist. We are the starseeds, we are the way showers. And that's a big message of my channel. I'm an old crone. Yeah. So, I wish you much love, much light, and may you come through this cradle of rebirth, of the portal, of the new moon, to know who you really and truly are. Thank you. If you sat through this, thank you so very much for listening. God bless.